Learning how to replace a turbine in your handpiece is simple and cost-effective. You can limit service calls and downtime by following these quick turbine installation tips. Thank you for calling American Dental. How may I help you? In this video, we will show you how to replace turbines in a Midwest Quiet Air, Cavo and Vector handpieces, as well as a canister in a Japanese-styled handpiece. The process for installing a turbine can vary slightly with different handpiece brands, so be sure to follow the detailed instructions supplied with your new turbine. But please use this video as a guide to get started. Before replacing the turbine, carefully examine your handpiece head for dents. If there is any evidence of dents in the head, return the handpiece to American Dental for repairs. Don't try to install the replacement turbine as you can damage the turbine. American Dental also offers a handpiece turbine cavity reamer for several models of handpieces if you prefer to remove the dents on your own. Using the specialized wrench that came with your handpiece, unscrew the end cap from the handpiece head. Do not use a pliers or other inappropriate tool to remove the end cap, as it'll cause damage to your handpiece. You can then remove the worn turbine by pushing out from the front. Use a scaler or explorer to remove all of the old turbine components, including any shims, O-rings, washers, or bearing retainers. Once all of the old turbine components have been removed, you can use a cotton swab and handpiece lubricant to clean the handpiece head. Probably the easiest turbine to install is the Japanese-style canister turbine. The replacement turbine will have an index ball or lock pin which will line up with a mating groove in the handpiece head. The mating groove is a small indentation on the inside of the handpiece head. If this lock pin and mating groove are not properly aligned, damage may be caused to the handpiece end turbine, which will prevent proper function. To install, simply slide the canister turbine to seat it into the handpiece head. Then replace the end cap and tighten it securely with your end cap wrench to ensure safe positioning of the canister. The Midwest Quiet Air standard chuck turbine is provided with two O-rings which will replace the existing turbine O-rings. One O-ring fits onto the lip of the front bearing or burr end of the turbine. The other O-ring will fit into a groove in the end cap. Use a scaler or explorer to remove the old O-rings from your handpiece and end cap. Special attention must be paid to ensure that the old O-rings are completely removed and the new ones are not misaligned, twisted, or otherwise out of place. A burnisher or similar blunt instrument may be helpful when installing the new O-rings to make certain they're fully seated. The turbine is also supplied with a copper washer. This washer is bent into a curve and should be placed on the front of the turbine so that the edges of the washer curve away from the turbine. Holding the turbine burr end up, carefully insert the turbine fully into the handpiece head. Once the turbine is fully seated, screw the end cap down until flush against the handpiece head and tighten it with your end cap wrench. Now we're going to install a turbine into the Vector F series handpiece, which is comparable to the Cavo 635 and uses the same turbine. This turbine is provided with two O-rings as well. One O-ring will fit into the groove on the inside of the handpiece head as seen here, and the other O-ring will fit into a groove in the end cap. This installation will be similar to the quiet air handpiece shown earlier, so we won't repeat those steps. The tricky part of this installation is installing the O-ring that fits into the groove on the inside of the head of the handpiece. You may need to use a blunt instrument to coax the O-ring into the groove. Holding the turbine burr end up, carefully insert the turbine fully into the handpiece head. Once the turbine is fully seated, screw the end cap down until flush against the handpiece head and tighten it with your end cap wrench. And finally, after any turbine installation, make sure to install a burr securely into the turbine before you operate your handpiece. Roll the burr between your fingers to check that the bearings turn freely. If you feel any resistance, remove and reinstall the turbine. If difficulty persists, do not operate your handpiece to avoid damaging the turbine. Just give us a call and we'll gladly pick up the handpiece and the replacement turbine and install it for you.